Appealing a VA decision can feel like a nightmare. It can drain you physically and mentally. Now, I've seen veterans, to include myself, waste months and even years on appeals trying to get them right because of very small mistakes that can totally be avoidable. In this video, I'm going to walk you through some of the most common appeal mistakes and show you exactly how to keep them from costing you the benefits that you deserve. So the first one, the most important one, is failing to understand how to read your decision letter. When I get a decision letter back, the first thing I do is figure out if I got my VA disability claim approved, if I won, service connection or whatever it was that I was going for, and if I didn't, then I go down to figure out why. Why did I not get it? What was I missing? What do I need to give them? What did they not see? What did I fail? What mistake did I make? That's the first thing that I do. And then if I feel like they were wrong, I go back into the evidence and I look to see what evidence they included or they reviewed to make sure that everything was included. And believe it or not, I have had some VA disability claims come back denied because they didn't review one piece of evidence that I thought was crucial to that. And in that case, and we'll talk a little bit later about that in the video, what you have to do, which lane to go down for your VA disability appeal. So that's my first thing, is understanding that disability letter. And really, that disability letter can help you develop your strategy for how you're going to win that VA disability claim, especially if you know that you're right. The second thing is just missing deadlines. We all know that we have 1 year from the date of denial to reapply. So that's just important to know. Don't miss that deadline. Those deadlines are important for intent to files as well. You get a year and then you get to keep your back pay. So just keep that in mind. The third one is not gathering strong evidence. And that's probably the reason that we're in the appeal process as it is. When we initially submit our claim, a lot of times, a lot of vets, to include myself, we just kind of throw spaghetti at the wall and we think that they'll figure it all out. And then, we waste months, and then that's why we're doing what we're doing, is appealing. And what I don't want you to do is, make that mistake of not gathering strong evidence for your appeal, because we're already working on the second route. And I know it will deflate you as veterans and really discourage you from moving forward. So when I say strong evidence, what do I mean? There's two types of evidence. There's medical evidence and there's non-medical evidence, in my opinion. Medical evidence is anything from your personal doctor writing something in their notes or your notes about your condition. That is an extremely valuable piece of evidence, especially if you're trying to service connect something or trying to get an increase. You want that doctor to write in there what their opinion is, and you want to make sure that that opinion supports whatever it is that you're trying to claim. So if you're trying to get an increase or you're trying to get properly rated, you want to make sure that you're telling your doctor what your symptoms are and making sure that they're accurately writing that down. And you want to know what the 38 CFR says about your condition, especially where in terms of the rating criteria. If you think that you're at a 30% for whatever your condition is, but your doctor's not writing, you're not telling your doctor what how this condition is impacting you. You're not telling your doctor how many headaches that you have in a month. The doctor's not going to write that on there, and in turn, the VA rater is not going to be able to give you an accurate rating for that condition. Other kinds of evidence that I consider strong, it will be personal statements from you. Remember, the VA will accept your statement as evidence, and it's really important evidence. Now, so long as you're not diagnosing yourself with a condition, your personal statement should be more about the symptoms that you have, how it impacts your life, whether it be your work life, your social life, whatever. Does it keep you inside the house? Whatever the condition is, you want to make sure that you're able to document that. Don't throw a bunch of symptoms in for a bunch of different things that you have going on, a bunch of other conditions. One personal statement per condition. Keep it nice, neat, and organized. I do plan on doing a video and actually writing a personal statement to post on my website www.informedveteran.com. I think personal statements are so important, but that's one of the non-medical evidence items that you can do. So personal doctor and your personal statement are so important. Other things could just be, tests, right? Some of our VA disability conditions require certain tests to be done, x-rays, asthma requires the breathalyzer test. There's just a lot of those out there, and you got to make sure that you have them, because if you're submitting a claim, the VA will send you to them to try and get them. They'll send you to the x-rays and stuff like that, and that's fine. You should use that service for that. Some other evidence that you can use is if you're trying to get something service connection, you definitely need to have some sort of nexus to connect your condition to the military service. You can go out and get a nexus letter. So, your private doctor might be able to help you out with that. Just remember, if you're getting your personal doctor who knows nothing about VA disability claim to write a nexus letter for you, there's some things that they need to know. They need to review your records. They need to understand how your military service was. They need to be able to put in there like why they think your condition was connected to military service. Putting in there that, hey, my opinion is that this veteran's condition was connected to their military service is probably not going to cut it. I do have a series of articles that I have on my website. Go check it out. I even talk about how I, used my personal doctor to write nexus letters for me. Just go on to www.informedveteran.com. I'll put that in the description box below. Hopefully that part helps you, but there is some things that your doctors need to know if they're going to write you a nexus letter. And it doesn't have to be in the form of a letter. It could just be in the form of records, but it's got to be articulated well. So go read that information. Other ways that you can do that, there are nexus letters that you can that you can pay for. I don't necessarily want you to go out and pay for a nexus letter. If it's an appeal and you keep losing and you need that, but you feel like you got it, that might be a reason to go out and do that. But those things can be $1,000 and more. I do have a directory of doctors who write those letters on my website. It's currently down, but it'll be back up soon. I just throw out there that I don't have a relationship with them. They will charge you. You do need to do your own due diligence. You need to make sure that they're worthwhile. I don't want you to pay for something that, may not help you. All right. None of them, I doubt any of them guarantee that you'll get an increase by using them or get a service connection, but they are out there, and I'll get them back up on my website soon. But those are the different types of evidence. So make sure that you're getting strong evidence. And then the next one is just relying solely on the VA to collect your records. Like you can give them that information, but just know that it's going to take a little bit longer for them to get it than for you to walk in or call and ask for your doctor. I suggest getting the records from your doctor and sending them into the VA so that the VA can see them. It'll be quicker for you, trust me. Submitting incomplete or inconsistent claims, that one doesn't really need a description. If you have records that you want to put in your claim, put your records in your claim. Don't submit them incomplete. Another thing too is skipping professional help. Listen, if you have a sound strategy and you watch enough of these YouTube videos to where you kind of know what's going on, if you don't want to do it yourself, you can go to a VSO, someone who does this for a living, someone who can do it for you free, and they should be able to help you out. Now, I get it. Some of them take 2 or 3 months to get get an appointment set up for you, and that's terrible. But they are there to help you out. So use them if you desire. And then the next one is just ignoring the right appeal lane. So, the VA has different lanes to send your appeal in. I would say probably the biggest mistake that vets make is they might try to do a higher level review when they just got done reading their decision letter, and their decision letter says that they're missing something, that they're not giving the service connection, and they go for a higher level review, and there really is no evidence in there for that higher level review senior rater to use to approve your claim, and now you're just denied again, and you kind of wasted all that time. So with that being said, there's 3 different appeal lanes that I'll talk about. The first one's supplemental claim. The second one's higher level review. And then there's the Board of Veterans Appeals, okay? The first two are the ones that I have experience with. Supplemental claims is you look at your decision letter, they say you're missing something, you go out there and you get that something, and then you do a supplemental claim by adding that evidence. You have to add evidence in order to do a supplemental claim, okay? Higher level review, you don't have to do anything except for click the button, higher level review. They don't accept any more evidence. You can't explain anything to them. There is a little block there that says, it lets you fill something out, but it is very little, so you're not going to get much information in there. Higher level reviews do work, but you have to make sure that they forgot to review something, and that's why you're submitting it, because that's typically what happens. And then the next one is going to just be forgetting about your personal statement. Those personal statements are so important. Remember, that's non-medical evidence. That's you telling the VA about your condition. And I think that if you're at the appeal process, I think it's very important for you to write a personal statement. If you had a denied claim and you're appealing for a lack of service connection, your personal statement can really help the VA rater understand why this is service connected. In addition to that, you can also do a buddy statement, someone that witnessed whatever injury you're talking about or trying to connect this to they can do that, a buddy statement, and they can submit that. Your spouse can do a personal statement for you, especially for something like mental health, to talk about like the symptoms that they see or how it affects your children or them. Those are all really important pieces of non-medical evidence that I think veterans maybe not forget to do it, maybe they don't want to write it. So just do that. Remember that. That's super important. And the last mistake, or the last common mistake that you're going to have in an appeal, and this one's probably true to a bunch of you, to include myself, is you lose patience and you say forget it and you don't do it. And I hate that you would do that, because if you lose patience and you don't do it, you've already lost probably a year doing this. And I don't want you to lose patience. I want you to just figure it out, build a strategy, get your evidence right, and get that appeal submitted, get approved, get the VA rating that you deserve.